Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And today, we will be talking about nothing but Power Rangers. We're not going to review anything. I know. It's like, why? Why don't you review? Why? I know.
I'm pretty sure.
I know y'all enjoy it. Oh.
I'm pretty sure they're like, y'all be giving us. I'm kidding. You know what though? I actually got a really nice message from Violet Ranger, who said, what did she actually say? Let me pull it up because I thought it was really nice, and it makes me so happy to kind of like see that and see the fact that like and I'm not sure if you've been feeling it. But I lately been feeling that our new season has been like literally more us. Yeah, more us, more genuine, just more like everything, you know? Like I just feel like even editing it, I'm just like, man, I love this new season that we got going on. And just everything about it just feels great. And even our content feels great. Just overall, it just feels great. But Violet Ranger actually said, you guys are feeding us with these new episodes lately, and I'm thankful for it. And that, yes. So that really,
thank you.
Right? Thank you. That really been confirming kind of like what I've been thinking when we started season 3, where I genuinely felt like we've gotten a lot more comfortable, and we've been at this for what, like 3 years now.
Yeah.
And I think just overall, like, I don't know, but I am definitely feeling our new episodes too. Like, I feel like they're funnier. I feel like they're more us. There's everything, So that really confirms what I've been thinking, and I've been feeling it. So yes, thank you, Violet Ranger, for that. I appreciate it. But yes, I lost my train of thought. I don't know where I was going with this after that.
We're very happy that you're enjoying it. So.
Yes. I mean, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I personally, like, I do get messages as well, and just thank you all for those of you who are really legit enjoying it. We really appreciate it. Because I mean, I'm not even gonna hold you. Sometimes we really don't be having much to talk about.
Yes, we don't.
We don't. We have nothing to talk about, and we still find a way to make you guys laugh and make the show an hour and a half, 2 hours long.
Right. Like our last episode, I'm not gonna lie, you all, it was 3 hours. I had to edit that shit down.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, we cannot be having a 3-hour show here. No, I'm sorry. We're not Blur Vision. We're not.
Shade. Love you, Jordan.
We're not.
Love you.
Another shade. Like, we're not no pink spandex. Just saying.
I mean,
just saying. Like, we love you, Lisa, but just saying.
No, but for real, and that's kind of shading me too. Damn, I'm on it too. Well, damn, Lena, tell me how you really feel. But no. But no, like I agree. Like, we try to, we try not to keep y'all for too long. We try not to, but we also don't want to, just blab stuff out and then just leave you. Like, we want to entertain you, obviously. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like, if it's a little over an hour and a half, I feel like that's long enough, right? Even though some people have been enjoying the 2 hours. So, as long as nobody don't get mad and be like, all right, damn, this shit too long. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, as long as it's not that.
Exactly, right? Like, let us know what you feel. Like, let us know how long you're willing to handle us for. And we'll keep it within that time frame because we're good at that, okay?
Speaking of letting us know stuff, so we got some comments. got some comments from Byron Weaver and also Derek Hervey, you know, on our YouTube. So once again, thank you guys for always, you know, reaching out, letting us know that you're liking the content. We appreciate it so much. Byron basically said that I can't wait for Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2. Hopefully in March we get something. Actually, that came up. Which that news we will be talking about today. We get something. Tribunal crew, keep up the great work. I enjoyed this week's episode. Thank you, sir. And he also goes on to say, I predict that the first half of season 2 will be put on March 3rd, and later, the second half will be on Netflix sometime in the fall. I'm predicting that we will get an announcement on Twitter in August, and the second half of Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2 will be on Netflix soon. Then in September, we get a teaser trailer. And then in October, we have the second half of Dino Fury. I could be way off, but we'll see how this plays out. This is just my opinion in terms of quality. I think season 2 will be better than season 1. And season 2 of Power Rangers Dino Fury could be as good as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers season 3. Here's what I'll say to that. And you guys can, you know, piggyback off and, you know, like, let me know what you guys think. I personally think that just looking at what we got from the little bit that we did see, I personally think that this is probably going to be a very heavy special effects season, the second half. Because, and I think that the effects might even be a little bit better. Mainly because just looking at the intro, I'm not gonna hold you. I got hyped by looking at Zato slide across that roof. I'm like, now, first of all, whoever roof that is, they're gonna be mad as hell because they got to pay for that. But I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, we've never seen that happen on Power Rangers before. And I know some people was like, what kind of CGI is that? Like, he's just like sliding across the roof. Like, what kind of mess is that? Like, I did see somebody tweet that, and Simon was like, no, actually, that was real. Like, someone was literally sliding, like the stunt guy was literally sliding across the roof. But like the roof stuff coming up was actually CGI, but that actually was a real stunt. Which I'm like, that is really cool. Like, they are really trying to pull cool stunts. And I'm like, yo, like, are we really trying to go back to the old days of like how stunts used to work? Because if we are, I'm here for it. Because I've said that plenty of times on the show. Like, Power Rangers, especially like post-Zordon era, they was pulling out the stops. Like, they were like, those moves that they were pulling off were crazy, like crazy sick. So if we're going to go back to that, I'm here for it. Like, what do you guys think?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I feel like we haven't really seen, outside of the fight stunts, we haven't really seen too much from the New Zealand crew in comparison to, you know, years before.
Yeah. I mean, I personally feel like, you know, because this is the same crew. Like, it's still Alpha Stunts, so we still got the Japanese people from the yesteryear still working, like Kazu and all of them. We still got them, but I do also, yeah,
probably like some sort of a different, I guess, direction that they're taking this time, I guess.
I mean, yeah. Because I mean, even if you look at the Disney era, like the Disney era, I think personally, and listen, I know some people be like Disney, you know, whatever.
Which is crazy because, like, you would think that people are more appreciative of that era now that we had Neo Saban.
Right. Because I mean, I feel like Neo Saban did the bare minimum. Like, they did the bare minimum when it came to stunts. Like, their stunts were terrible. But like Disney, I always felt like Disney went above and beyond to show power, like Power Rangers. Like, they were like, how can we make their stunts seem so unrealistic that they have to have power to do it. Kind of a thing. Like, it always kind of felt like everything they did had some kind of wire to it in Disney. Like, even when they were just regular, and that's why I feel like they introduced like the civilian power, because it was like all the stunts that they were doing, even as humans, they were like doing all this wild stuff, all these wild flips. And I'm like, who is going to be doing this as a human? Unless you actually have powers. Like, you can't do that.
Ethan,
yeah.
Dino Thunder, that stuff that he was doing in civilian form. Oh my God.
Shit, Kira too. Because I'm like, the way Kira was always flying in the air with them flips and then want to bust out into a split. I'm like, oh, she definitely was on wires. Like, her stunt though was definitely on wires for sure. So I'm like, yeah, like, I always felt like the way, when SPD was good for it too. SPD was ridiculous when it came down to them. So I'm just like, I always felt like with Disney, they really went above and beyond with the stunts. And then it just, when it got to Neo Saban, they just were like, yeah, we're just going to tone this down all the way. So, yeah. It was like, yeah, good luck, so I don't know. Like, to me, I appreciate that, they're going to try to, it does kind of seem like they're trying to elevate it back up, kind of up the ante again. I appreciate it. So let's go Dino Fury. But in terms of just quality, hopefully it is better. Hopefully it is better. I really hope it is. So yeah, thank you very much, Byron, for that. We love it when you send us stuff. We really appreciate it. Derek Hervey also commented. Derek tried to read us, y'all. So he says Don Momotaro's emblem symbol is a peach, being the team is based on the folklore legend of Momotaro, aka the Peach Boy. I repeat, not a man's genitals. Thanks, through Peach. Okay, Derek.
Thank you. I had no idea.
You didn't know. Well, yeah. There you go. So yeah, it is actually based on Momotaro. I knew that. But I didn't expect everybody to know, but I knew that. It is based on Momotaro, the story of the Peach Boy. And literally all the characters are. The whole team. Like, all of them are based on characters that are in the folklore of Momotaro. So it's a pheasant, I believe it's a cat or a dog, one of the two. The monkey, and then the Oni girl and the Peach Boy. So yeah, like, it is based off of that. So yeah, like, I'm like, oh, cool. But yeah, it is based on that, and it is a peach. We know it's a peach, but yeah, we're gonna make jokes. That's what we do. We're gonna make jokes about it because that's what it looks like. So,
I mean, isn't the peach emoji also be used for
cheeks?
Yeah, So I'm just saying.
Just saying. They use for cheeks all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, I use the peach emoji for cheeks, like, all the time. Like, I use the hand emoji and the cheek, like, smacking cheeks. Like, it is what it is. Like, I do.
Wow.
All the time. My favorite combination of emojis: hand and cheek, hand and peach, all the time. But anyway, but yes, that is that. But thank you guys for commenting. We really do appreciate it. So yeah, let's get right into it. First of all, we are going to talk about some Dino Fury news, and we are also going to be talking about a certain person who landed into the spotlight this past week.
Making themselves relevant after they want to be irrelevant in the realm for so long.
Girl, what shit? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I was going to talk about Dino Fury first, but
No,
we can talk
Dino
about this
Fury.
now.
No, that shit needs to. Wait, no. Dino Fury is what we need to calm ourselves down after this talk.
Okay, fine. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Damn, I thought that was gonna be the main event. Okay.
I mean, right off the gate, let's do it. Like,
Let's get right into it. We're not here to play.
Let's get into it. So, listen, Amy Jo Johnson, who we all know is, Kimberly Hart, who has blessed many young teenage boys and had them come into their sexuality early, has basically come out with a little tweet, basically saying, and I quote, can I just say, I think it's really dumb if the new Power Rangers universe doesn't include or acknowledge DOGs. Just saying. Hashtag Power Rangers. Can I get an amen? Hashtag Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That was on February 17th, 2022. On Black History Month. Yes. So.
Okay, first off.
Get into it. Go ahead.
Okay, so first off, what do you think that she was referring to? Because I'm interested to see what your thoughts are.
I thought that she was talking about the new universe that Hasbro is cooking up that we'll have for the next, hopefully for the next few years and longer. That's how I took it.
I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so here.
What do you think first?
Ooh, child. Here, okay. Well, I'm gonna word my words very carefully because I don't want to offend nobody. I'm gonna word myself very carefully. So here's the deal. Here's what I honestly legit think. I agree with you, Will. I think that that's what it is. But also I find it very strange that randomly you picked on the 17th, a Thursday night, random as hell, to post a tweet like that. Like, that is weird to me. Like, no kind of lead in, no kind of nothing. Just, I'm just gonna tweet and just create a shitstorm. Like, like something is up. Like, something is up, and it feels weird. It feels like you're trying to start something. And honestly, I feel like the kind of reaction she thought she was gonna get, she didn't get. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody was with it.
I'm not gonna say nobody.
I'm not gonna say nobody, but there's a good bunch of people who were like, yeah, nah. So, like, they didn't give her the reaction that they wanted.
Right.
That she wanted.
And okay, so like for me, I actually did not try to jump into this whole thing right away. I was trying to like take a step back and like kind of figure out where she was coming from, right? However, I personally think that she is just looking to stay relevant like JDF. She is trying to cash in on the whole franchise like JDF did. And
hold up. We're acting like this, or you're acting like this woman hasn't been acting since then.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying like she was not relevant. What I'm saying is like, if you take aside from the fact that she was the original Pink Ranger, nobody recognizes her.
She's still working and making money.
She is still working and making money. And that's what I was just gonna get into.
Unlike some of the other originals, no disrespect to them.
No, not at all. And here's how I feel. She left and she made a career of herself. She did well. However, somehow she feels the need to cash in on the fact that she was once the Pink Ranger now. Use it to her advantage for her future career.
Well, with what Brandon said of how random it was, now that actually I didn't think about how random it was. I'm assuming that something happened to prompt her to
Mm-hmm.
say that.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm coming from with it. Something had to have happened for her to go all of a sudden random as hell on a Thursday night. I'm going to tweet this. Something happened. Something happened. And I feel like, now I might be wrong. Because once again, I don't know. But remember, let's go back. Let's take it a step back.
Okay.
Remember when she went to that con in Seattle and she broke the news that she was working with Boom?
Yes.
Now, it could have been a situation. I'm not saying that this is what it is, because I could be wrong. And more than likely, I probably am. But it could have been a situation where they could have been like, yeah, nah. Because you telling us we taking too long, bet. We going to take longer. We ain't going to do it. You know what I'm saying? It could have been that.
Wait, what did you say? I didn't even...
That's what I was...
So you don't know about the comic?
He knows.
I know about the comic. I know about that. We talked about it, but you said that she said that they're taking too long?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the actual video, yeah.
Yeah, an actual video.
She was like,
She was like, I'm gonna leave it out here because they're taking too long to respond to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought that was confirmed that she was doing it.
No. So she pitched it. They liked the idea, and it seemed like they were gonna do it, but they haven't given her the final approval yet, from what I understood.
From what I understand, exactly.
Yeah, from what I understood. Like, I mean, don't come at me because I don't know. Because like I mean, I saw what Brennan saw too. So from what I understood, they were like pre-approved in a sense that like they liked the idea, they were considering it, but obviously the final decision had yet to come through. Right. So she was like, fingers crossed, you know, this and that, blah, 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 right?
Right.
So, and she was saying they take so long. So, it's funny, but I thought the exact same thing when she tweeted that thing out, where she's trying to like, but that's what I'm thinking, like, that's kind of where I'm like, I feel like how she's cashing in on the franchise, because she's like, listen, guys, I'm going to use all my fandom to like come at you to get this like comic going. Because I know she wrote this comic with her boyfriend during the pandemic, you know? Right. So that's kind of what I meant when I said that. I'm like, she's trying to cash in on the franchise by being like, yo, guys.
And here's my thing too. And even if it's not that, here's my thing. And this is what I've been seeing from like the get-go with this whole thing. Hasbro, like even if it does actually pertain to the new Netflix thing that Hasbro is trying to recreate this whole brand new universe and everything, even if they don't even include the OGs, I'm not even mad at it.
Oh my God, I'd be so excited.
I'd be so excited because here's the thing. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this. I know, but here's the thing. These characters have literally transgressed into literally characters. Like, we know that the actors were the ones who spoke life into the characters and made them who they were. We know that. But now, Boom, with the help of Boom Comics, with all these different iterations and all of this stuff, these characters have literally become characters. Like, they've literally become like your Superman, like your Batman, like your Flash. These are characters now. Yeah. So at this point, anybody can play them. Literally, anybody can play them, and they can write them in any kind of way. They don't need the OGs anymore.
No.
And I'm even taking it even bit further. Did you with the Christopher Nolan version of Batman? Did they call Michael Keaton?
Nope.
You know, Michael Keaton is one of the most popular Batman of all time. Did they call him in there and be like, "Can you make a cameo?"
Nope.
They were so set in like, we're going to recreate this world, and we're going to make this series, and we're going to turn it into something else. We're going to turn this into a whole different franchise that's going to tell its own story. And I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. I really don't. If they decide not to ask them to come back, That's fine. As long as they are able to tell the story and to recreate this world and basically repump the franchise and give it a new life and rebirth it. If they don't bring them people back, good.
Okay. So
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it.
I have thoughts on that.
Go for it. Go for it. I'm here for it.
I think that, oh my God, how many times have we talked about how we would love to see them do something with one of the other, adapting one of the other series, and the series is more than just Mighty Morphin. Okay, yes. I get that, absolutely.
Yes.
And even though the 2017 movie was loosely based on Mighty Morphin, using the same characters' names and the same color palette, a couple of the same characters, it still was something new. And because of that, arguably, that may be one of the reasons why it didn't do well. At the end of the day, it's business, and obviously the most recognizable thing for Power Rangers is the original. So if they try and do something completely just hasn't been done before, or if they were to maybe try and do something with one of the other series, it's not a guarantee that that's going to be successful.
Well, here's the thing I'll say to that. Here's the counter argument I'll say to that. Go ahead. Oh, there's more. Okay.
One more thing.
I was going to say, I have a counter argument. Go ahead.
And then what you were saying about, for the Dark Knight franchise, they didn't call back Michael Keaton. They didn't call back Adam West. Yeah, true. Batman is, I wouldn't put Batman on the same level as I wouldn't put Power Rangers on the same level of relevance as Batman, because you put a Batman out, it's going to sell. It's going to do something regardless, even if it's bad.
Even if it's bad, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I personally, I'm all here for, like, I'm the optimistic fan that I'm all here for if they try something original, because if it's Power Rangers, I love Power Rangers, so I'm going to give it an opportunity. But I also know that there's a lot of people that didn't want to watch the 2017 movie because it was different. I know that there's a lot of people that don't know that Power Rangers exists outside of Mighty Morphin. Therefore, they might not give an opportunity to something original. I wouldn't mind seeing, like, I don't need to have something completely with the original actors. However, the fact that we still have 5 of the original 6 alive, like, I wouldn't mind seeing a cameo or something like they did for, like, some of the recent Scream movies where they introduced a new cast of main characters, but you still had Sydney, Dewey, and Gail still having a place in there. Not as big, but at least something that helps with the story. I wouldn't mind something like that.
Nah. No. And let me go ahead and let me go back to one of the things that you said. Like, for me, and this is for me. I know I don't speak for everybody. I don't. But just for me personally, I agree that, with the whole Batman thing, it's like, well, of course, people are always going to go, they're going to all go see Batman. One of the main arguments for the 2017 movie, and you hit the nail on the head, was that it was different. And that one of the things that was one of the main arguments that was consistently throughout the board was it didn't look like Power Rangers. It didn't feel like Power Rangers. Hell, I guarantee you, if they wore almost the same exact suit and everything like they did in the 90s, and probably tweaked a few things in the movie, that movie probably would have been way more successful than what it was. Because let's be clear, TMT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they looked a hot ass mess. That CGI looked fucking crazy. But on the same token, we still got the idea that they're still turtles. They just look crazy, but they're still turtles. So it was, and they still kind of look the same. They just were CGI'd and they looked a little lot more mutant-y. But we still got the idea. It wasn't so different to the point where it was just visually jarring. Because one of the main complaints from the 2017 movie was that the suits didn't look nothing like the show. Like the main complaint was, oh, it's too Iron Man, even though I disagree with that heavily. But it's, oh, it looks like Iron Man, or like you can't tell what dinosaur they are, or whatever, because they all look alike in the face. Like, you know, things like that. And then like with the Zords don't look right. Like you got Mastodon looking like a spider. Like, you know, it's like, it's stuff like that that made a lot of people go, this is not my Power Rangers. This doesn't make sense. So it hurt the movie. Even though the movie was spectacular, it was a great movie. But these are the things, when you try to go too far left in being different, that's when it's like, oh, no. This ain't it. Like y'all doing the most. This ain't it over here. But I guarantee you, if they were to stick very closely to how, at least close enough to how the TV show looked, but made it a little more modern, they probably would have stood a better chance. Because then people would have been like, oh, this is more appealing, this is more noticeable. Like, this is notably more so like Power Rangers, like the Power Rangers that I know and remember, rather than just something that's brand new and completely made up. So I can understand that argument. But the reason why I say I use the Batman comparison is because it was something that was completely different. Like, I mean, of course it told the same story, because I mean, you can't really go, like, Batman is always going to have the same story. But they did it in a way where they retold it, and they made the story, and they recrafted a story that was literally a great story, and they made it into a franchise that was actually really good. And it can be done. And I can see that being done for Power Rangers too, even with Mighty Morphin. Even though, and that goes back to the other kind of argument that I was going to bring up. It is not Hasbro's fault that Mighty Morphin has become the cash grab that it is. It's not their fault. Sure. It's not their fault. Because Saban, it was all Saban's fault. All of this mess is Saban's fault. They literally sat there and they pumped Mighty Morphin into people's faces so much so, and they kept coming out with all these other seasons, but they didn't give not nearly any attention to these other seasons.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So now we are in the middle of this mess of just oh, Mighty Morphin. And a lot of us older fans are now feeling it, because we're like, I'm so sick and tired of seeing Mighty Morphin. But at this point, we have nowhere to go. Because if we try to go and we do a revamp of Zeo, or revamp of In Space, or whatever, it's not gonna grasp or catch anybody, because nobody your average person don't know what a Zeo is. Your average person don't know what an In Space is. They don't, hell, to be truthfully honest, most people don't even remember season 3. Then they might even remember the movie, but they don't remember season 3. You know, so it's like, to be honest, like Saban really screwed himself in terms of the longevity of the Power Rangers franchise in general. He screwed himself because he got those billions of dollars, and was like, oh, I'm gonna milk this. And I'm going to use this as a cash grab, instead of trying to cultivate the franchise and make it grow and make it into a thing that people can follow along with. It was like, oh, no, never mind. We're just going to concentrate on this one thing right here. That's it. And that's why we're stuck going around in this pinwheel of a circle with Mighty Morphin all the time and can't go anywhere. So my thing is, if we're going to do this and we're going to try to restructure a completely brand new universe, I say, honestly, go balls to the wall. Stop being so damn safe. Stop being safe. Go balls to the wall and just say, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and recreate this thing and say, bump it. Just start from scratch. Start from scratch. Throw the baby out with the bathwater, and let's start this thing all over again. And do the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight thing. Tell good stories. Use the characters that have now become literally characters now. Use those characters and create a world. Do world building. Do all the things that we want. do all of those things. And then literally, if you wanna, and this is what I was saying on Twitter, if you want to then maybe add them as like add one old actor here from the OGs as like a therapist, or make them come in as a completely random character, just to make a little guest spot appearance. If you want to do that, great, that's fine. I wouldn't care. But to bring them back and so that we can have them relive their glory as a Ranger, no. Which goes back to my main tweet with Amy Jo. What it really sounds like to me, if you really want to be real about it, I'd rather her just would have tweeted, "Give me a job." Not trying to be rude, not trying to be funny, but I'd rather her just tweet, "Give me a job. Give me a job." Because that's what it sounded like.
But it's so crazy that she, basically said that, because she has expressed that she doesn't want to act anymore, that she just wants to direct.
So if that's the case, then what was this about?
Right. And that's why I'm so confused, because I'm like,
it's possible.
Sure, go on.
I'm sorry, it's possible that something changed in that opinion, because her best friend, David Yost, has been working on a script. I'm trying to basically a reunion script. So maybe that knowing what it's going to be like changed her mind.
Listen, and I'm here for it. Like, because the thing, and yeah, if that was to be something that they could do, that could even be something that was in conversation that she could have been tweeting about. Whether they didn't get that off the ground, or that Hasbro didn't approve it, or whatever. It could have been anything. But I just feel like for her to just blatantly go ahead.
Sorry, but here's the thing I'm kind of confused about, right? With the whole David Yost thing, that's not a new universe. That is literally calling out to the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
So wow, so that tweet doesn't even make any sense.
And that's my thing. It doesn't make sense. Like, it's just so random, and that's what my point is. It's just like, it's just so random to the point where it's just like you just woke up, you just was sitting at your dinner table drinking wine on Thursday night and was like, I'm going to choose violence today. That's kind of what it was. It was literally like, I'm just going to choose violence and I'm going to send out this tweet. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, why? What was the point of this? Because, and that's why I was like, she didn't get the reaction that she wanted, because now you've just sparked a whole debate and a whole conversation that, honestly, I don't think you actually thought this was going to go this way. I think you thought that it was going to be all the fans being like, yeah, I agree, bring back OGs. And it was like, you got a lot of people on one side being like, yeah, and then you got a lot of people on one side being like, nah, don't do that.
Interesting was the fact that people were just showing, like, posting pictures of Dino, Dino, Fury. I saw some Mystic Force, and it's like, you really expect her to know what the hell that shit is? What do you?
No. And once again, like I said, that goes back to literally that was Saban's fault. That was Saban's fault. Every time you turn around, case in point, every time you turn around, what was Saban doing? Every time there was a parade, the Mesa Parade, what did you see? The gigantic Red Ranger. The gigantic Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. Whenever they had a little parade or whenever they had a little event, what did you always see? The Mighty Morphin cast. You always had the Mighty Morphin people dressed up in Mighty Morphin uniforms. You always see Mighty Morphin popping up every 5 minutes. And it's like, it is your fault. This is your fault. You have created this monster that this is all people know. So it's like, what can we do? What can we do? So I've honestly, in the mind of Hasbro, I'm pretty sure they're probably like, well, if we were to create this universe, we can't even do anything brand new. We can't, even if we wanted to. We can't create anything brand new, because if we did, people would not even, they wouldn't even know what it is and wouldn't even want to give it a chance. Even though there is a good bit of us who are like, please do something new. For Christ's sakes, please. But it's like, once again, you're going back to this fear, which that's why I'm like, if they do reboot the universe, don't use them. Step out on faith and actually, say, all right, we're not going to include these people, because at this point, it's like trying to lean on to the OGs is literally suicide in this franchise. You're killing it, and you're not going to let it grow. You're not. It's not going to grow. At some point, you have to take the training wheels off. You have to. And I'm like, well, shit. When is enough enough? When is it going to be time where you say, you know what? We don't need them anymore. We don't need them to push the franchise. When is enough going to be enough? And honestly, if Hasbro is like, you know what? Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like now is the time. I'm with it. Like I said, I am perfectly okay with them coming back as like a janitor, a dance instructor, or, something like that. I'm perfectly okay with. But to have them come back like, oh yeah, here I go. I'm gonna morph one last time. No, I don't need that. I don't need it. I mean, personally, in the 2017 movie, that cameo with Tommy and Kimberly was good enough for me. Like, I was like, oh, look, it's them.
Right?
Moving on.
I'm with you. Like, I'm with you there. I don't know. Like, it's just, I think that, and going back to what Will was saying earlier too, like she had a whole career, like after Power Rangers and everything like that. So why randomly tweet this?
Why?
Why? You just directed like a few episodes of Superman, for Christ's sake, by CW. Like, you've gotten some great roles, and you've done well for yourself. You really have. She really has. So why randomly call out to the Mighty Morphin Rangers again? Like, why?
I don't know. Like I said, it had to be something. Something happened where it was like, they were like, nah, something. I don't know.
And I think,
something.
What? And what's kind of crazy too for me? It's like, for the longest time, she didn't want to be known as Kimberly. For the longest time. It was only recently she came back to the fandom world.
Yeah, this is true.
So it's just like, and don't get me wrong, like, you guys, at the end of the day, she is still my hero. Like, I still adore her. Like, she's still my favorite Pink Ranger ever, for those of you who don't know that. So I'm not against her wanting to be like, call out to the, original Mighty Morphin. Like, I'm not against it, but I just don't understand as a person who's moved on from the franchise, and as a person who created a whole career for herself, and now is a director who's done really well for herself, actually, like really well for herself, to randomly be like, yeah, so don't forget me. Remember, I played Kimberly.
Yeah.
That's really random.
It's random. That's why I'm just like, something was up. Something happened. And I'm like, I don't, and then to add insult to injury, then she goes back and tweets, there's always more to a story. And it's like, sis, no, baby, just stop. Like, just stop. Just stop talking. Don't tweet anything else about this. Because it's like, and my thing is also, and this is why I feel like it didn't go the way she wanted it to go, because obviously there is definitely a reason why she tweeted that, but also at the same time, if you want the public, the court of public opinion on your side, it just can't be cryptic. Especially with this fandom. What'd you say?
I want to know what this is about. I want to know what happened.
Okay. We want to know what's going on. You can't be cryptic. No, because if you're gonna throw shade, you know what I'm saying? Like throw shade, but also the girls are gonna now gonna be asking, and you can't just hit with like, oh well, there's always more to a story. That's the easiest way for people to all of a sudden discredit you. That is the easiest way. And it's like, I hear that, and I'm like I get it. And she could have been salty about something. She could have been really mad with what Hasbro probably is doing or whatever, and she probably can't really say anything. But then if that's the case, then don't say anything. Then don't say anything. Because and then whenever said thing happened, then you can come out and be shady and be like, yeah, that kind of happened a long time ago, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, then come out and throw shade. But doing that like legit right now, it raises questions, and then it also puts you in a position to look like the villain in the situation.
Yep.
That's what it is to me.
How so? Villain, how so?
The villain easily, well, in my opinion, it puts you in the position of looking like the villain, because it's like, it almost kind of seems like you're trying to start something.
Yeah.
It seems like you're
did.
like, yeah, I mean, well, yeah, she kind of did.
Like, everyone's going crazy being like this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I saw a tweet where someone goes, it hits different coming from her. How? I'm sorry, but how does Amy Jo say anything about the franchise and it suddenly hits different? I'm so confused. What?
And I mean, it's probably, what do you say?
What did you say, Will?
Because she's an original, and her whole history with, with coming back after not being around for a while.
And also, she's pretty much quiet.
Yeah.
She's quiet most of the time. So it's like, and that just goes back to what I'm saying. Why all of a sudden are you saying this now? What happened? Which goes back to what I was saying with saying it kind of puts her in the position of looking like a villain, because it's like, you come out of the woodwork and you just all of a sudden just start vocalizing stuff like that. And it's like, well, why are you saying that? And then you go to say, there's always more to a story, and then put a whole bunch of laughing emojis. It's like, girl, it sounds like what's going on? Like, are you trying to start some stuff?
I think the laughing emoji was in response to the response she got.
Oh, girl, I don't know. Child.
That's how I took that part.
But it's like, it was weird to me. It's like, I don't know what that is, but at the same time, it's just, it's weird to me, because it's like, girl, why? It all goes back to why. And also too, it's funny because Violet Rangers, we mentioned her earlier, she also said something that was very interesting in terms of just the reaction that she got, because some of the stuff that some people were saying was a little raw. And I'm like, all right, y'all, chill out.
People have no filters or common sense.
Okay. Like, some of that stuff was a little raw and a little unneeded. Now, I understand some of y'all are very passionate about this franchise and y'all very passionate about this show, but also, let's be very freaking clear. The attack on her gender, it's like, y'all need to chill out. Like, because the whole thing is, I mean, I'm not going to necessarily say they were attacking her because she was a woman, but I'm also going to say that I do kind of feel like that's what it is. Because let's be very clear, some of the stuff that people were saying does feel very specific. And I'm like, if we're really going to go there, why haven't, and Violent Ranger said something very, very, very similar to what I was thinking, but she just said it. Why is everybody coming at the heat so hard on what she said, which really wasn't that bad? We just want to know why she said it. But ASJ be saying some weird shit all the time, and nobody really be checking him like that.
That is a very good point. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Nobody really checks him like that. But
I saw that, and that was a very good point. He out here
I'm
being like a whole racist, and no one said nothing.
no one said anything. It's just like, ooh.
And so don't like watch. They're gonna be like, oh, because it hits different. What? No. No. I'm sorry. Racism does not hit different no matter how and who you are. It's still
okay.
you know,
I'm like, ooh.
just saying.
Ooh. You know, like, I'm like, y'all, babies, no. That's why I was like, some of the stuff that they were saying, some of the responses that she got, I really felt were like, I don't think y'all would have said that if she was a man. I don't think y'all would have said some of this stuff. You know, like, it was just like, I don't know about this. You know, especially if she was like a little piece of ASJ or JDF, like, I don't think she would have got some of those responses. You know, so there is definitely that. But that's just been my number one, like, position on this whole situation with her, was literally just like, where is this coming from and why are you saying it now? Like, what's happening? What happened? What, you know, what was the thing? And if you are, you know, at a position where you can't say what the thing is, then don't say anything, because like I said, that does put you in a position where people are going to look at you crazy. Like, are you trying to start something? Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Or like, what's going on? You know, because it's like, at the end of the day, whatever you're saying, like, whatever reason you're saying it for, it's like, now the question is now always going to be, what's going on? Like, and now everybody's going to be fishing for answers and trying to figure out what's going on. And it's like, now you done put everybody in this uneasy, uncomfortable position of trying to figure out what's going on. And this didn't have to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't something that had to happen, because maybe, just maybe, you know, we might be getting some sort of news about the Power Rangers universe. And, you know, we might be getting some news very soon.
Hopefully.
And if we do get news about the universe, with this being what she just tweeted, that could put a nasty little taste onto what's going to come out.
Very good
And
point.
that is what I mean by she's kind of the villain in this situation. Because for everyone who was actually excited about the universe and excited about what could be possible and what could be what's coming down the line, we're all excited about it. Now you literally just tainted it with that tweet. Like, you just basically put a bad taste on it. So it may not even, you know, people might not even want to even check for it, or might be going into it with ill feelings because of what you just tweeted. So I'm like, sis, I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling this one. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm not feeling it. Sorry. I'm just not. You know, it is what it is. Like I said, even if they were trying to redo the universe and not include them in it, even if they do, so what? So what? I mean, there's been plenty of opportunities for them to come back in other capacities. And let's also be very clear. If they had their shit together with the multiple times that they were supposed to be included in cons, all 5 of them, and all 5, I mean David, Walter, JDF, ASJ, and AJJ. If all of them had some of them put their beef to the side and actually have done things together as a unit, they might have stood a better chance, but that's a different conversation.
That is a good point. Wow. That's
a different conversation.
That would have made some money.
I'm just saying, but that's a different conversation, because that could go way deeper. But I'm just saying, if they would have put their differences off to the side and actually came together like a unit, we might not even be in this situation. We might have probably had a quantum continuum a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Just saying, probably would have had a long time ago. But hey, I'm just a podcaster. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to leave that there. Well, speaking of Dino Fury news, y'all, this new trailer done popped out. Now, for the girls in the back who don't really know what the hell we're talking about when it comes to this trailer, so basically, this little piece of trailer, well, first of all, randomly, on 3 days ago, when today is literally the 20th, so 3 days ago, that was the 17th. Damn, everything just falling on the 17th, huh? But the 17th was a very magical day. So on 3 days ago on the 17th, basically, we went ahead and we got a little piece of Dino Fury season 2 trailer. And we also got, the theme song, the updated theme song, right? Well, not updated theme song, but the updated credits for the theme song. And it was interesting. It was very interesting. There were a lot of cool things that we saw. Pretty much it was the Rangers fighting and all that good stuff, and we seen some pretty cool choreography. We even saw Izzy kick Slither, and there was no arm blocking. She kicked him in the chest. So we love that. But one of the things that stuck out to me in this trailer is we got a little piece of Void Queen. Now, Void Queen, as many of you probably know out there who watches Super Sentai, Void Queen is actually a character from the Sentai TotG, who was named Madame Noir. So she's a completely different character from a completely different Sentai, which they just went into the costume for and placed her here. Now, this is not new because we've already kind of had, pictures, from a couple from like last year, where a fan kind of like zoomed in on Simon's background. And that's how they were like, wait a minute, that dress looks very familiar. That belongs to Madame Noir. And that's how people were able to, put two and two together and be like, oh, that's Madame Noir. So we kind of had an idea that Madame Noir was going to be in Dino Fury in some way, shape, or form, but we just didn't know, in what way, right? Mm-hmm. Or we were even thinking like maybe she was going to be like how they did with the announcer on Power Rangers Ninja Steel, because that character is also Baron Noir. I want to say his name. I think that's his name in TotG. But he's also a character that is in TotG as well. They went ahead and they're basically picking and choosing what characters that they're taking from from that season. Because basically I've been saying it, they're not using it. They're not, they're Baron Nero. That's his name, Baron Nero. So Baron Nero is, his costume was basically ripped apart and basically became the little character Cosmo Royale in Power Rangers Ninja Steel. They just added a little funny face to him that looked like Elgar and, made him, Cosmo Royale. But I say all of that to say that is one of the main things that stuck out. And many fans are now asking, is TotG going to be adapted? Because we're getting all of these, we're getting these things. My answer to that is no. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, why would you think that? Like,
why?
Obviously, it just seems like, there's a couple of seasons that they didn't adapt, but they saw that there were a couple of cool things that maybe they could take from it, and they've done that. I don't know why they would think that they would adapt the entire thing.
Exactly. Obviously, you would think, right? But there are some fans out there who really, really hope and pray that they were going to adapt TotG. And it's like, babies, I'm sorry.
Ugh.
It's not happening, babies. I promise you it's not. I sincerely believe that is not the season that they're going to adapt. Now, they may adapt any other one, like Zhuoger, which I also don't really care for aesthetically, but they may adapt a little piece of Zhuoger. They may adapt Q Ranger, even though they said they may not. That might have just been a red herring from Simon Bennett. Who knows? But these seasons are a lot more adaptable aesthetically wise, rather than TotG. Like, no, it's a chop. No, the only thing that is actually pleasing to the eye from TotG are the villains. The designs of the villains from TotG are beautiful. They are stunningly freaking gorgeous. They are badass. I can see them being like, we want that. But the actual show and the suits from the Rangers themselves, they look terrible. Like, it's a no. It's a chop. Like, absolutely not. They're not adapting that. So, sorry, not sorry. They're not doing it. Because why would they take all of these designs just to adapt the show later on down the line and be like, okay, we're going to use it. Now they got to explain why Cosmo Royale from a different season looks the way he does and why Madame Noir is here in Dino Fury. Now they got to explain this junk. And it's like, they ain't doing that. They're not doing it. So, no, it's not happening. But moving right along. So Simon Bennett went ahead and he came on and, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Did anybody found something from the trailer that they liked specifically or anything like that?
It was same old for me.
It really wasn't giving anything for you?
Nah.
It took me a while to think about that. I was okay with it too. It was like, whatever.
It was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it felt a little bit different than what they usually give us. Like, it seemed like they put a little bit more effort into it, but it's still pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. Just, I know it's a damn kid show, but goddamn, it's just like, nah.
Not, it still felt pretty cheap.
Better.
This is like, still felt pretty cheap. I'm not gonna hold you. I did enjoy some of those camera angles. Some of them angles were kind of nice. I was like, oh, they're trying to experiment with some angles. I like it. Okay. Because I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy that little piece of scene where Void Knight caught the sporks. And it was just like the angle of watching the sporks fall down and then him catching it. Like, I was like, oh, that's pretty nice. Okay. So, I'm enjoying like certain things aesthetically from the show. I'm like, I'm actually okay with some of this stuff. And it did kind of get me like, feeling it like, okay, this might be kind of cute. Speaking of kind of cute, however, so Simon Bennett, he's always blessing us with the news, and what I'm saying? He always coming out and giving us all the hot takes. And he had some words. He had some things he wanted to talk about and some things he wanted to say. And he basically said, can't wait to share with you what we've been making. So then someone went ahead and tweeted and was like, Double Danger, rising_Hopper1, was like, can you comment a bit on the tone of season 2? Was there any more freedom in terms of it being developed for streaming? Simon Bennett replied, it was written at the same time as season 1. There were no different requirements or expectations. From a writing and production point of view, seasons 1 and 2 were one big thing. Dino Fury, now this is where it's like, oh. Dino Fury was originally written as a 22-episode season. Then when it became 44, additional episodes were written to plug the gaps while the overall structure across the season remained the same. Now, then he goes on to say, so if a few of the episodes seem like filler episodes, ... Double Danger goes, well, I hope much bigger part of the plot is coming our way. Simon replies, yes, it most definitely is. And then Thomas tweeted, can you tell us if season 2 will have holiday specials or the quote unquote cost saving episodes? Is that still the case for season 2? Simon replied, no holiday specials.
Straight to the point.
Yes, it is going to be an entire season that is nothing but story. So we can count on no more holiday specials, which is fantastic. Thank God.
The holiday special were the worst.
The worst.
So thank you.
So no more of that garbage. So far, like, what are you guys thinking? Like, what are you thinking, babies? Like, what do you think?
I was thinking that it's pretty cool. First and foremost, the fact that Dino Fury was originally just going to be 22 episodes. That's interesting. And then so I guess maybe initially, because we heard that, 2021 was supposed to be the last time that Power Rangers was on Nickelodeon. So I guess they were just going to give it 22 episodes. Wow. But then they did this new deal with Netflix, so they got an additional 22 episodes. That gives me hope that what I hoped would happen with the first season happens with this season. They introduced some pretty cool characters that I would have loved to have seen more focus for, like Javier in particular.
Right.
Even though not Kai, Ali was a douche of a character. I still would have liked to have seen more of him that was going to kind of redeem him and like have him grow. So hopefully maybe that'll happen. Maybe the speculated, relationship with him and Emilio will actually happen this season and feel earned, hopefully. Hopefully we'll get to see more of Izzy and Fern and flesh out the relationship between Zeta and Ion, because I feel like they did that way too quickly of having them back on the same page when Ion had, certain hostility towards Zato. Like I think I'm just hoping, just as a whole, we just get more character work, because that's something that we've all been waiting for so long. And more Dr. Arcana, please. I love her.
Well, yes. Yes. Who also has a birthday coming up. But yeah, like I agree with everything. It is very interesting. It's very interesting that they definitely were leaning towards this season being a 22 episode season. And then was like, oh, we got permission to do 44. Let's do it, kind of a situation, and just started like plugging stuff in. My thing is, now that just literally confirmed what everybody was thinking the whole time, which was in 2020, with 2021, that was the end of the contract. Like, they fulfilled their contract with Nickelodeon. I was gonna say Hasbro. I'm like, why Hasbro? They fulfilled their contract with Nickelodeon, and it was literally going to be a 1-season deal. If they didn't get permission to do 22 more episodes, like, it was literally going to be a 22 episode deal where it was just like, this is what we're going to get and that's it, kind of a situation. So yeah, I find that kind of cool that this is, that's what happened. Now, this could also, in a way, it can also kind of Depending on how they plug it in and depending on what they do, you know, it could either hurt or it can either help the series. I'm hoping that, you know, it would help. And I really do believe in Simon's ability. Since so far he's been doing a great job. And he seems to understand mechanics very well. Like he seems to have a good understanding and a good handle on it. I can see him being like, you know what, that's fine. Kind of a situation, you know? In terms of just the show itself, you know, it being what it is and just what we're getting, I think it should be okay. I really do. I really do think that season 2 is probably going to be okay. Now, most people were really scared that Dino Fury season 2 was going to be released all in one day. That was something that I did see on Twitter that was flying around. Like people were really nervous. Like, oh my God, is the show going to be released in one day? It's not. Like it is going to be released on March 3rd. The first half is going to be released then. So I believe it's like, I want to say it's going to be released it's going to be released, I think, like 11 episodes or 12 episodes, something like that is going to be released first. And then the second half is going to be released later on in the year. Are you excited? Like, what do you feel about like the with knowing all of this information and all of this stuff? Like, what do you feel about it going into it?
I'm looking forward to it. There was so much potential for the first season that I feel was somewhat squandered. Maybe, hopefully, because of the restrictions of being on Nickelodeon. Hopefully, that was all that it was. Because there was a lot of potential with some of those episodes, and even the episodes that weren't so great, there was still stuff with the characters, and the story that had a lot of potential. So hopefully, you know, we're going to get a little bit more than what we got. Because oh man, like there were moments where it was like really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. There were definitely some fantastic moments in the first season that was like, oh, okay. And then there were some moments that was like, ooh, y'all could have worked on this a little more. So y'all could have worked on this a little bit.
Is it horrible that I don't really have expectations or look forward to this new season? Like, not that I'm not excited, but I'm not waiting for them to wow me.
That's fair because we've been let down for how many years now?
Multiple years,
right? And we
multiple,
right? And also, I've learned from past seasons that like the first season could do really well, and then second season could be the most letdown ever. Like Beast Morphers.
Ooh, child.
Oh no. I just don't really have expectations. Obviously, I will watch it when it's out. I don't have expectations. However, I want to say this. I know we talked about this last episode. It really does not make sense to me as to why they removed Beast Mode for season 1 when they're literally launching season 2.
Yeah, like, they still have season 2, but they took off season 1, which is dumb. Yeah,
right, because like usually with most shows, when you know how when it pops up in your like like in your like preview or list or whatever, usually they just announce that there's new episodes. And obviously when it doesn't pop up, sometimes I feel like it's nice to remind people, oh yeah, don't forget the show is on Netflix also, and then they can definitely go ahead and watch all the episodes before leading up to the second season if that's what they want to do. But now that they remove it, it's like, well, damn. I understand that if you snooze, you lose. I get that, but it just makes no sense for you to launch season 2, not have season 1. And then furthermore, the fact that they kept like a Ninja Steel. This is not a shade comment. This is literally like, I don't understand why you're gonna introduce season 2, but take away something that has a season 1, but not take away an older season. But we're gonna introduce a new season but only season 2. So If you didn't see the first season, sorry, but here's season 2. Oh yeah, but by the way, Ninja is still on Netflix, so you can watch that. What?
My thing is, and here's my thing with that. It's like Ninja still no tea, no shade. Like, why are we here? Like, why? Like, why is that still a thing? Like, yeah, like, why is it even still here? It's like, okay, girl. Like,
I think I mentioned this before. The only thing that I could possibly understand with that is maybe because it's been up there so long, it has more views than Beast Morphers.
that's a good point.
But it doesn't. Okay, but the thing is like, but that, how is that any fair to something new that you just launched?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely not fair.
And
it's certainly not fair. But now, like, for those of you who actually want to, you know, rewatch Beast Morphers, you better watch it now because it's going to be going by February 28th. So you have the rest of Black History Month to watch the rest of Beast Morphers. Once again, thank you all for listening. If you have an opinion or anything we had to say, or if you agree, you disagree, whatever the case may be. Oh, I rhymed. Hey, then definitely hit us up. Let us know what you think. And we'll be more than glad to read your comment and discuss your comment, for sure. And yeah, continue to listen. We are everywhere. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Google Podcasts. We're on SoundCloud. We're on YouTube. We are everywhere where you listen to podcasts.
Except for Spotify.
There you go. Except for Spotify. You know, so we are everywhere except for there. And continue listening, continue to support, continue to let everybody know where we are, so that, you know, we can garner more listeners, and then everybody can listen to us, you know, and, you know, support. But once again, my name is Brandon.
My name is Lena.
And my name is Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.